Good morning, everyone. This is Matt Stringer with the Texan News here at the Republican Party State Convention Exhibit Hall in Houston, Texas, and I'm here with State Senator-elect Kevin Sparks from Senate District 31. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning.
We've been several days now down in Houston. We've got roughly 8,000 delegates discussing all kinds of different matters of public policy and party business. Senate districts have been convening and electing local officials, and kind of an interesting turn of events in our State Senate District 31 caucus. We got some new leaders out there, and kind of one of my thoughts on that was how interesting is it in West Texas that we have a new state senate district, new SBOE, new state senator, new SBOE, new SREC members, and you're kind of the leading the pack.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm leading the pack on all of that, but my politics is a very fluid thing. And so I think it's always inviting to have new and fresh ideas introduced, leadership as well. I think one of the things, though, that is really good about Senate District 31, we still have a lot of legacy members, a lot of people that have invested in our area for a lot of years. And so I think that really helps anchor things. But the onslaught of new ideas and new energy brought into our district, I think, will be a healthy thing.
Oh, absolutely. For those listening that aren't quite familiar with the Senate districts, Senate District 31 is a fresh map. It's kind of similar to the old, but it runs roughly from the Panhandle down to west and a little bit of central Texas, maybe.
Yeah, we go all the way down to Schlacker County now,
Wow.
El Dorado, Texas.
How many counties?
Total of 45 now.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's about a 7.5-hour drive from El Dorado up to Stratford.
And a lot of different major industries for the state out there too.
Well, Senate District 31 actually represents, I believe, probably 40% or so of the state's whole economy when you factor in energy and then agriculture up in the Panhandle, which is both cattle and feed. We represent a lot of economic diversity and power, really, for the whole state.
Yeah, and one of the fun things about that is I believe you are one of the only, if not the only, member of the upper chamber who's going to come from oil and gas. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe I'm the only member that has any practical drilling and production experience in the oil and gas industry. I've been in the industry more than 35 years, and that's been my business, my focus, and one of the things that I think I really will bring to the Senate is some real expertise in that industry. And it's such a critical industry, not only for our state, but for our nation, actually, and we're seeing that play out currently.
Is there any particular issues on the horizon that you might see coming up in the new legislative session, or is all that still kind of formulating and up in the air?
Yeah, no, I think it's all very much up in the air. One of the issues that I think really needs to be addressed, we're still not where we need to be as far as securing our electric grid here in the state of Texas. And so there's still quite a bit of policy, I think, that needs to be formulated to make sure that these more than 1,500 people a day that are moving to Texas have the energy that it's going to take to continue to drive our economy.
Yeah, that's a major issue, is doing everything possible to ensure Texans continuously have a reliable source of energy on the grid.
Right.
Another one of the big industries there in SD31 is the agriculture industry. What are you kind of hearing from some of the leaders in that industry, and are there any issues in that area in particular that are coming to the surface?
Sure. Well, right now, they're suffering from very high input costs. Obviously, they use a lot of natural gas in their on the farm side for irrigation. Their fertilizer costs are up 3 or 4 times from last year, and I think that's something that's going going to ultimately be an issue for all consumers because food costs will necessarily be escalating.
Right. Yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick was here, addressed the convention delegates, and got a huge round of applause, very support. How excited are you to be working with Lieutenant Governor Patrick on some of his legislative priorities? I know one of the things he touched on yesterday was election integrity. And are you already pretty well familiar with the other members that will be incoming and getting to know them?
So since I don't have an opponent in November, and I'm very fortunate in that respect, I've already had an opportunity to begin meeting a lot of what will be my colleagues in the Senate, developing relationships with them, trying to kind of understand their areas of expertise and how I can complement that. I am looking forward to working with the Lieutenant Governor as we, election integrity is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen what that looks like if we can't have and be guaranteed fair and secure elections.
Absolutely. Here's kind of one of our last questions, and then if there's anything else you want to highlight, feel free to absolutely chime in. But what are you most excited about regarding your first upcoming session as a new member of the upper chamber?
Well, that's an interesting question. Excited.
Kind of open-ended.
Yeah, excited may not be the right word.
A little intimidating?
It is a little intimidating. Obviously, I come from the business sector, which I think is a really healthy perspective coming into politics.
Did you ever see yourself running?
No. This time last year, I had not contemplated ever running for public office, and so a little intimidating. It is a process, and that's part of my goal between now and December is to get up to speed on the workings of actually creating legislation. I know I'm going to have a lot of help, but more than anything, I want to bring good practical business experience to any policy that we consider, because in my mind, what we have to be mindful as legislators, we have to be creating policy that is sustainable long term for our citizens.
Looking down the future.
That's right. Not just knee-jerk reactions to something that's happened, but a thoughtful process of something that 10 years from now will still make sense for the citizens of Texas.
Sounds like a great mindset for upcoming legislative session in the Texas Senate.
Well, I hope so, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and joining us. This is concluding the last day here at the Republican Party State Convention, and we just got through discussing some of the issues facing West Texans with State Senator-elect Kevin Sparks. Thank you so much once again, Kevin.
Thank you, Matt.